Weird. I get like, I'm like hearing the phrase cut your losses. Weird. But that's the thing that comes up, cut your losses. I don't know what the hell that means. But I kind of feel like it doesn't necessarily mean to stop there with the cut your losses part. I feel like it's also saying cut your losses, but count your blessings and use them to your advantage. So, interestingly enough, you guys got a lot of new beginnings and signs of endings all in the one reading, but they are really empowering ones. I feel like your the situation that you're actually trying to kind of I don't want to say figure out, because I feel like the situation is kind of already pending. It's more of like what you guys got going on has a lot of time and effort toward it. Has a lot of time and effort needed for it. And the things that are distracting you are things that can't be changed. So I feel like right now, I'm not trying to say that you guys are trying to use pre-existing situations or past situations to kind of continue the whole procrastinating avenue, but I kind of feel like a lot of you guys think that you're unprepared because you haven't been able to overcome certain challenges that have come up. When it's not true. You have actually grown so much. You've grown so much. You've done, so many things. Some of you guys are already aware of all these changes, and for those of you, good on y'all. But for those of you that aren't, this is like, I feel like this reading is really saying, like, right now you've gone through enough changes, a lot of drastic and deep and dark. It can be even dark changes too, that ultimately open a new door to a part of yourself that you hadn't realized. There's an aspect, there's a beautiful area that you may not have seen before, and it requires lots of love, patience, and time to understand it and grow it. And I feel like it's to do with what unlocked those things had been difficult challenges along the way. Really difficult challenges, nothing easy. But it unlocked something for you guys. So you have the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. Passion, and then a beginning towards an investment, a new project, creativity, fire, life. Ace of Wands. The Ace of Pentacles, that's investing, that's progress, that's nurturing in a sense. It's hard work, it's consistency, it's routine, it's boundaries. And it's almost like you guys are trying to figure out how you can continue to live your life and do something brand new from a situation that's declared itself over, that's been over for a while, or some situation that hasn't left you feeling the best of the best, And one of the things is too, like, I feel like everybody this year has experienced some serious amount of deaths in the family, friends. And I feel like this is one of the things that is the hardest part. It looks like for you, Taurus, your journey begins when you set your intentions and your focus towards old dreams. Old dreams, old things that you may have put off to the side because of other responsibilities and a noble standpoint, and now it's like, you know what, there's nothing going to be standing in my way. I'm not going to let anything stand in my way, because not only through the changes, the really, really, really big changes that have come up in your life, have already shown a part of you that desires, that wants happiness, or there's a part of you that is on fire and it deserves to express that. I feel like right now it's about allowing that part of you to actually express it than to just be aware that it exists. Because I think there's some things that you may have held off, or you have put up, or maybe some things that you put up in its place so you don't take that huge risk and go out and figure out what that part of you really means for you and how to work with that. Because of course there's a lot of pain and stuff associated with trying and doing something new, but it's along the journey. Those aren't bad things. It's just not necessarily familiar. But with Uranus in Taurus right now, y'all are all being shaken up. The way things used to be isn't comfortable. It isn't familiar anymore. And I think that's why you're having to figure out what to do now, because no matter where you are, it's not comfortable. Even if it's been this way for years, and now it's not comfortable. It's not fun. You don't enjoy anything out of it. You don't get anything from it. Old habits, old patterns, old routines, they're gone. And it's not your fault. It's actually natural evolution. And I feel like there's a lot of pride that you have with it. It's a lot of growth that you acknowledge and you appreciate. But now what's left is you and this new world, or this old world that no longer supports the new you. You're like an iPhone. You're like the first iPhone, but now we're headed into iPhone 13 or whatever, right? I'm probably just lying out of my ass, but hey, just work with me on this. You guys are like an iPhone right now. You're so up to date, you're so savvy, but you're back, where the other old iPhones are. You're not up to par. You used to be that old iPhone, but then you got upgraded. And now the old ways of things, doing stuff, like having that. Does anybody even, like, if you guys have been like long time iPhone users like I have been, then you guys remember the old YouTube app that used to come with the phone, right? They used to come with the thing, and then you couldn't change the background. The background was always black. If anybody remembers that, that's how you used to be. But now you got all this technology. You can multitask on your phone. You can watch a TV show on your phone, listen to it, and then still put in documents, write a book. You can do multiple things with this new device because you have upgraded with the world. But your programming is like your programming is caught up to it, but your software needs to be updated. It's like that old iPhone is aware of the new updates, but it's in a body that can no longer support those new updates. So you have to kind of transition, make the changes to the new you, to the you that resonates with who you are right now, to the software that should be up to date. Because right now you're in a body that ain't up to date. And this is even before I started reading the cards, family. Like, this is what I'm all channeling. And all of this has to do with really big changes that have come in your life, that have shown you a part of yourself that has been dormant, that hasn't been doing anything for a while, and is ready to be active. The Ace of Wands is the best indicator for that. Six of Wands is the underlying energy. You haven't noticed it. There's a reason why the Six of Wands is coming up reversed like this. And typically in my deck, shouldn't be any reversals. I keep changing it. I keep literally stopping the video, rearranging, like literally flipping all the cards up, and there's still cards that come up reversed. I feel like there is a part of you that hasn't been noticed, hasn't been realized. Maybe you've even in the past been shunned and stuffed down because either the people around you didn't want that part of you to exist because it doesn't help them out. It's not in their best interest for you to be who you really are. But now that that's out the way, that unrecognized part of yourself is shining, and it's this beautiful beacon of light here, this Ace of Wands, this pool of life, and you're ready to do something about it, but you're also not ready to do something about it. There's a lot of changes, there's a lot of things that are going on, and you're having to figure out what changes are you going to start with. What are you going to adjust? Are you ready to adjust? Are you just in the process of still keeping the balance? Because I think the ignoring your emotions part is attached to a lot of the big changes that happen this year that obviously trigger some really deep rooted pain. That triggers to something that's dear to you. And even though I don't see the Five of Cups, I feel like there's too much energy here that says that to me for there to have the Five of Cups. You miss something. But obviously that part of you that's lit on fire is also connected to the part of you that's still mourning. The Six of Swords. I love the Six of Swords because I feel like it's saying no matter how many, no matter what, right, you're still going to be able to find happiness. The past will never ever leave you. It's up to you to put the past in the past, not as a forget and move on, but more as a valuable lesson that you can always come back to later, or a part of your history that can reflect back to you in a way that brings out a loving part of yourself for yourself. I always see that there. And I feel like with the Two of Pentacles coming up like this, there's a lot of changes that you're looking at that you know have to change. And it's just like, I'm not sure if I'm ready for the change. Some of you guys are. But the fact that Judgment is in your present, that tells me that you're in the process of making those huge decisions. That really, really, really big decision to turn your whole life a big 360 and do something different. Because you know that you could go in the same way that you've been. But is it what to make you happy? Do you get anything out of it? What is the value of your situation right now? And I don't think it gives you anything back. And I think you know it doesn't give you anything back, which is why the Judgment card is like, you know what you want to do differently because there's a part of you that's brand new. This is rebirth, Judgment. Judgment is a rebirthing energy. So the fact that you have this here with the Six of Cups parallel, this some past energy, something broke free. And it's really weird to say this, right? But like, it's almost like whatever the tragedy was, whatever the really big shift or change in your life was, it unlocked something from you that you may have not have seen for a very long time or even forgotten. But it was a part of you that was innocent, that was, open to new things, that was, it's youthful, it's loving, it's life, it's children. I don't know if you guys are trying to have children right now. I don't really get a lot of vibes of children like that in that regards. I get a lot of returning to a time of innocence, or returning to a time of, of when you felt more hopeful, felt more alive, felt there was more potential, having more faith. Instead of letting the past energies, letting the past situation deter you from that. I feel like, honestly, you're inspired by the things that have been, that have been replaced in your life. The things that have naturally evolved, right? Or things that have evolved without it necessarily happening in the most natural pretenses. Things that have evolved, you are now inspired by, it seems like. And now you're like, it looks like you're taking the step. You're wanting to take the step to invest in something new, because you no longer see that you not only, you don't really care to waste your time on things that don't matter. You don't care to allow to spend your energy in areas where it's dwelling and it's over committed to something that honestly won't give you anything back. This looks like, to me, you're changing your entire outlook on how you spend your time and energy and what you do with it, your time and energy. Because you've been aware of things being too short to waste any more time. So the Five of Wands is the challenges that I'm indicating in the past here. Definitely hard challenges, things that you may have been struggling with, things that you may have been struggling with, people, arguments, etc. But this was intense, and this ultimately brought about a really huge change that's causing a lot of the changes right now that you're performing for yourself in the present. This is a spiritual change that will ultimately change your external energy too. But this is a personal and deep emotional change because of, just by the way the rest of this looks, the Six of Swords, traveling to new waters, seeing opportunities along the horizon, but allowing that focus to be the greatest use for the lessons learned from the past. And the hardest part about this is the Ten of Swords, which is in your best path to follow. This is in your advice. The reason why it's so hard is because this is about not letting something go or accepting something as is. Because I think that's the thing that you guys have been really dealing with right now, is just trying to accept situations as they are, but no longer allowing that acceptance to dictate where your life goes, to, let that be the end all of everything. It's the recovery now. It's time to recover. That's what the Ten of Swords is saying. And I feel like you see that. It's like, you think that if this ends, then the world would have ended, right? Or something like you didn't plan after this. So you didn't plan for something after something else happened. but it happened, and now you're still here. You're awake. You're alive. As a matter of fact, you have like a hidden vault of vault of passion and energy and desire to create in a very strong, inspiring energy that you want to express now. And it's like, whoa, where did that come from? I wasn't expecting this. When I expected this to kind of come to a close, I was expecting things to kind of be more mellow. But in actuality, things are becoming a lot more heightened and intense and exciting. Like, there's a part of you that just yearns for life. And the Ten of Swords, you can't have that with the Ten of Swords if you stay there. Looking at, the loss, looking at the end. The end was what was needed to create a new world for you to be who you were, who you are. And that's what the Ten of Swords is saying. It's not necessarily like, hey, let go of the past. It's about, there's a part of you that has been reborn, is being reborn at this moment. So in order for there to be greatness, you have to aspire to greatness. You have to go and look for that greatness. It can't happen right here. And you've already done everything that you can. That's the best part too. The best part is that you've done everything that you ever could have. You have to accept that you've done everything that you could have, and now inspired to do the best that you can moving forward. Because the Ace of Swords, Ace of Coins rather. New beginnings, new investment, new commitments, a new investment, a new avenue for time to be put into something, effort to be put into something, put abundance to be to have abundance. It could be with a past relationship. It could be with your career. It could be with anything. But you've done all the hard work, and now the hard work towards what you want to do is now the forefront. And it's like, are you selfish enough to go for what you want to do rather than what looks right for everybody else, versus, taking care of anybody else? It's about now, Taurus, it's your time to be selfish. It's your time to do what you want to do, instead of always compromising and trying to figure out ways to, put that off to the side to take care of everybody else, because you've done the taking care of everybody else part. Because now it's time for you to be free with the Queen of Wands. Time for you to have fun, to travel the world, to do what you want to do, to be known, to be seen, to express your heart's desire. Aha, surrender to passion. Oh my goodness. Taurus, you guys crack me up. You know that? Don't let the things around you distract you anymore from going after what you truly want. I know it's a scary thing, and I know everything has been kind of up in the air, crazy, throwing you in the sky, because I mean, this applies to me too. I'm a Taurus rising. I did not anticipate a lot of this stuff happening. I have to kind of play this by ear, but I'm going with what I want to do. I'm trusting my passions to make those decisions. And this is exactly what happens now. There's no blueprint. There's no right or wrong plan. I think you were growing up. You had someone always telling you how to live your life, or always telling you what you should do. And now there's no guidance. There's no roadmap. There's nothing. The only thing that you have right now is what your heart wants, what you've been dying to express, what you've been wanting to do and be for your entire life. It's time to surrender to this passion now. Get out of your head and feel the fire in your belly. Focus on the people or activities that ignite your passion and let it flow. Big message, fam. Big message. Let's see what else we got. Alrighty, out with it. For the fates. That's what I was telling you. The situation from past energies, from past situations, they come into our lives to show us something and to unlock something to help us to evolve into the best version of ourselves. And I feel like this was a fated situation, right? Not necessarily seeing the situation, not seeing. Actually, what I mean is not necessarily having an idea of what to do next, right? The question is, what's next? And I don't think that you've planned for what's next. You just plan for what was going on right now, what you were investing in that moment in the past, right? And now that investment's blossomed and turned into what it needed to be, what it had to be. And that's how it naturally was meant to be. So now what are you going to make with this? Because there's always a new chapter. There's always a new story. And you get to write this one this time. You don't have to live it by someone else's standards, by what you believe is right, based off of societal standards, or period. Like, you don't have to no longer keep yourself in a sort of boxed cage. You're just, a hungry animal ready to eat real food instead of eating cookie cutter stuff that are processed from a factory. You are now a beast that deserves to roar on the top of the highest mountain in the world. So what are you going to do? So how are you going to get there? What does that mountain for you look like? What does roaring feel like? This is Leo season, and this is so big for you right now because passion, all the changes that are coming in, are coming from things that you've tied around responsibility and obligation. So now that those obligating things are gone, a lot of those things that were holding you back, if there was anything that's holding you back, or even things in your life that made you feel like being that part of yourself wasn't appropriate, now it is, because there's nothing here to keep you from that. And I feel like it's not like the bad stuff is gone, be you. I feel like even the good stuff, if some of you guys have had children and you guys are watching them become adults and blossom, that is not a thing that you're like, thank God they're gone. This is a part of you that has now expressed itself into the world. Your children are the vessels in which you expressed your teachings to. And I know all of us ain't parents out here, but that's something very similar. People can leave us with something that's so valuable and so great that they still inspire us to be who we are. That inspires us to be who we are even more. So I don't think anything was holding you back, really. I think there was just a lot of things that you had on your plate, and a lot of focuses that you had at that time. And now that those focuses are diverted, evolved into what needed to be, you can use what you were given from putting all that time and investment into it, that emotional investment into it, and put it into something that's pure you, Taurus. So big.